Hi, Lillian. Glad to see you made it in. Not sure where everybody is. Maybe running a little bit late today. Hi, Robert. Welcome, Julie. Welcome, Peter. Looks like people are arriving a little bit late today, but we've got Scott Smith waiting in the wings. So, Scott, I'm not sure if you want to give him a couple more minutes to see if the numbers increase a little bit. Hey, Julie.
How are you, Liz?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, we'll just give everybody a few more minutes to kind of roll in. Everybody get some water.
Welcome, Alex.
Hi, Liz. Good to see you.
Thank you. You as well.
Hey, welcome, Alex.
Thanks, Scott. Looking forward.
Since we've got a minute or two here, just want to mention next week for our session, we'll be doing a mixer. So a networking mixer like we've held a couple in the past. And I did post something in the vault. So with the notification, we've got almost 800 people in there. So hopefully we get some fresh faces to show up for that. So that'll be next Wednesday, same time, same link. And I hope you guys will be able to join. Welcome, Peter. Welcome, Katrina. And welcome, Benjamin. Glad you guys could join.
Good morning.
I think Scott will be getting started shortly, so I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic and eagerly await to hear what he's got for us today. Thanks for showing up, guys.
All right, welcome everyone. So the kicking off here for this week. Today we're going to be talking about putting everything, the whole package of everything together. So I think it should be a pretty exciting time for us to be able to do some learning today. We're going to kick off today with breaking out into some breakout rooms here, just to do some networking, checking in with each other, seeing which ways that we can best be of service and ask for support from us, whatever way is needed. So one thing that's always great to talk about is if you're looking for how we're going to kick off our conversations as a group, is just asking people like what the highlight of their day is so far. It's a great way I like to be able to just start having conversations with people. It puts them in a really good mood for them to talk and makes them think about like, hey, what am I actually like excited about today? Most people are so focused on the problems and whatever else, all the stressful things their life is. You can be a little ray of sunshine in everybody's life just by asking them what's the highlight of your day so far, make them think about that, So I encourage you to jump into your breakout rooms there, have a great conversation, connect with everyone. Don't feel afraid to ask for support if you need it. So again, if you could break us out into breakout rooms, please. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope everybody had some great conversations with each other. And coming back in here to our call today, some of the things I wanted to share with you guys was really based upon something that has been part and parcel for what we come into in our work here as real estate investors. As you guys know, I've restarted the Royal Life coaching group. I see a couple of those members are actually here. And inside of that group, what we're focusing on right now so far there is really studying into the blue book that is with some of that free training that's there inside of the vault. So, and that training has to do a lot about execution and some of the nuances that come with execution and controlling state of being. Now zooming out to that's at the very, very bottom of the most pointed. If you want to look at like a funnel of what's there, like it's at the very, very bottom. Here, like looking at the very top of the way that I see things from 10,000 feet up, and that I wanted to share with you guys here today. It's about like much more of how do we put all of these things together. So I don't know if you guys have seen this over and over again, but what always seems to come apparent for me is about what are the different levels in which we experience the different types of challenges in life. And what seems to be the case is that at each new problem that I solve, what seems to happen is that then I start to just experience a new level of complexity, which comes into a new problem. So I'm starting to think that this game of life that we play as investors and business people is actually, in many ways, it has many levels to the complexity, and that the better that we can understand how all of the puzzle pieces fit together, the faster and easier and better life gets with our businesses and our investing and everything. Just be another part of like what makes up life. So to take this as an example, first is that I'd ask everybody to like just reflect for a moment. Reflect for a moment about what is the challenge that you have right now, the top of mind challenge that you have right now. So who here would think, well, Scott, the top of mind challenge I'm having right now is obvious. It's I need to get better at my investing or my business. Top of mind challenge. If I had that thing solved, the story you would tell yourself is if I had that thing solved, then my life is going to be better and easier. Is that fair to say? Yeah? I see Julie nodding. Okay. So let's take it one step down. What about if you didn't have food? Then what would you say is your problem? Would you say is my problem investing in my business? Or would you say that my problem is I need to eat? Say, well, I need to eat. Okay, great. Well, here's some fish and some vegetables. I fed you. And you say, oh, cool. Well, I always have fish and vegetables here? Probably. You can probably come here every day and I'll probably always have fish and vegetables for you. And now what's your problem? Oh, well, now my problem's back to learning how to invest because now I ate. This is not a great analogy. I'm giving you that, right? I feel like, Scott, this is not a great analogy here that you're giving us about how it works. But do you see what I'm driving at? It's that if you go back down to the fundamental levels of what's really going on with you, that this is why you never feel okay. This is why you always feel like there's some type of struggle or problem. Because it actually doesn't matter what problem gets solved. You will then shift to another problem. This is not like a throw your hands up in the air kind of thing and just be like, oh my God, well then what's the point of all of this, and have an existential crisis, right? That's not what I'm trying to get at. But the point is that I'm trying to make is to say, well, let's just look at what reality is then. Because if the real reality, based upon your own experience in life, is that what I'm doing is I'm solving a problem at one level, and then after I solve that problem, what all that happens is that problem goes away. I have a new piece of energetic space, mental space, and then I'm tackling another problem of complexity. I solve the basic problem, the simple to understand problem of I'm hungry, I need fish, I got to eat. Very easy to understand, in the box kind of problem. Once that problem went away, then what happened? Well, now my mental space opened up. And what did my mind do? It got pulled to another problem, which was, now that I can eat, now I'm going to think about like my business. I'm going to go to a different level of complexity of whatever it is I want to create in life. This isn't a bad thing. This is just the nature of things. And the reason that I offer it to you is because I'd like you to be able to work and to be able to have focus and working on the problem, whatever the thing is that you decide the thing is that you're spending your time focusing on, without feeling like it's a problem, like that there's anything there that's wrong. Because the feeling of that something is wrong here, or that there's something to be afraid of if we don't figure it out, is simply not true. Because you can eat, and you have clothes, and you have shelter. And everything after that are just different levels of complexity of the problems. You personally are not in threat. I know it doesn't feel that way, right? Yet. But it's possible to be able to separate yourself and how you feel, that you can feel okay about what's going on, and separate out the problems that you're working on as two different experiences. And why is it important to do that? It's important to do that because you're actually getting in your own way. When you start to gunk up your brain with a bunch of feelings of fear, anxiety, all of this stuff, what is actually happening is that you're interfering with your computer. Your computer is doing exactly what your computer should do. This is your intellect. It's over there processing data. All these data pieces that you keep putting in front of it. But the moment that you start feeling that things are not okay, and then I'm afraid, or I'm anxious, which is just another word for fear, or I have this feeling that I'm confused, and now I'm anxious that I'm confused, then pretty soon what all you've done is to be able to take this thing called your intellect, and you've gunked it up with a bunch of emotions. And so the way that I know how to keep that from happening is to focus on the first thing that I showed you today, which was focus back to the basics. Focus back to the basics. Is it really true that I'm not okay? Is it really true that there's anything to be afraid of? Is it really true that there's actually a threat here? Or is what's happening really is that I've actually, all of the base needs that I need to actually be okay are actually fine. However, my mind is taking me to a new problem. And because my mind is taking me to a new problem, which it is always taking me to a new problem, the experience that I have when I'm encountering the new problem is confusion, fear, anxiety, and all of these other things. Okay, who's with me so far? Anybody want to reflect on that? who would like to share a little bit about what resonated? Julie, would you please share with us, and hopefully some other people will share with us, just to check in with each other as a group about what's resonating so far with this kind of thing, or not resonating is fine too.
Yes, Scott, I totally get it. You are talking about emotion interferes how we think, how our brain works. And if you are looking at the stuff in front of you as a problem, then you're stressed. You're like, why do I always have to deal with all kinds of problems, right? One after another. However, if you try to steer your emotion to be a positive one, then you are looking at, this is not a problem. This is an opportunity for me to fix this thing, and I can grow, I can be better. I do not hope things are easy, but I hope I'm better. So it's a way that I practice and I get better. And I remember listening to Chris Voss talking about the difference between Reagan and Trump, because they're both very stiff, and they're like, they want to certain things done, but Reagan always put a smile. And then he said with a smile, but Trump is like, you are fired.